To talk about all of this, we want to speak with immigration attorney out of Austin to break this down more. Let's bring in here Kate Lincoln-Goldfinch to break this down a bit more. Good morning to you, Kate.
Good morning, John.
Let's start with the first just simple question here. Is it legal, is it possible to deport U.S. citizens, whether they were born here or naturalized?
It's not legal, but that's not the end of the question, as we've seen over the last few weeks with the Venezuelan deportations and the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. This administration is willing to overstep the bounds of what has been considered not legal in the past in efforts to detain people, deport people, and evade due process rights. So no, it's not legal is the simple answer, but that also doesn't mean it won't happen.
So is there any precedent that exists around revoking citizenship in general, though, here?
No, we have had what's called denaturalization units in the past, where people who have had a green card and then naturalized, and then it's later discovered that they committed fraud on their applications, where their status can be revoked. So that has happened on a very, very rare basis in the past. But by and large, detaining U.S. citizens, interrogating U.S. citizens, certainly deporting U.S. citizens, none of that has occurred in our history.
So then I would imagine with a lot of things that the president has tried to do here, there would be some legal challenges. Some judges would then try to strike this down, right?
Oh, absolutely, there would be legal challenges. And then I think the question remains, what would happen if the court rules against the actions of the Trump administration? Because again, we're seeing this play out right now. Just yesterday, we had another hearing on the Abrego Garcia case. This is the man from El Salvador who was mistakenly deported back to El Salvador. And the Supreme Court, in a 9-0 decision, told the Trump administration to facilitate his return. The administration is refusing to do that. So again, if they start deporting U.S. citizens and the federal courts hold that they can't, we could very easily see the same pattern played out, which is that the Trump administration would say, it's out of our hands now, these people are out of the country.
Gotcha. In terms of relationships between the U.S. and other countries, how do you think this is going to impact that, especially if we're sending people to other countries?
Well, I mean, as we've seen with Bukele in El Salvador, there seems to be a friendship between Trump and their president, and some of the other nations that they're floating. I think that they would use these as, diplomatic tools actually to form relationships with these countries, to pay them money to indefinitely detain people from the United States, whether they are immigrants or citizens. So in terms of international relations, I think possibly Trump would attempt to use these as friendship building opportunities.
Do you see something like this going all the way up to the Supreme Court possibly, or the Trump administration just leaving it where it is?
Oh, I think this would definitely go up to the Supreme Court. If U.S. citizens were detained and deported off U.S. soil, or even if they were to, for example, claim that, part of El Salvador is now U.S. soil, something like that would absolutely be challenged in federal court. I feel certain it would go up to the Supreme Court. I feel confident that the court would rule against any action like that. What I don't have confidence about is that the Trump administration would then fall in line.
Got it. Okay. Kate, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for weighing in on this morning.